Welcome to Three the Hardaway, aka the three-man Jalen Weave, aka the best big three since LeBron D. Wade, and Bosh live on YouTube on a Tuesday. If you are in the stream, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're on our way to that 200. We 7 away from 150. So let's get there before the NBA season start. And of course, I want you guys to share the video with whoever you see it. We almost there, man. It's 34, 35 days away from the NBA season. It kind of flew by, but once the NFL get back, we literally down the street from the NBA season. So we're gonna get right back into season 2 of our show. So let's get it, man. If you don't know who I am the walking bucket, providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got the coach on the sidelines, take them to school on and off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty. Happy Founders Day, my guy. Ow, ow.
Olay. Happy Founders Day to you. I didn't see no brown and gold on you, but it's all good. I understand.
Get in the closet, man.
At least you said something today, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. But hey, thank you, man. And listen, kudos to Iota and our 60 years. We're not as far along as the dead legs are, and the train. But hey, we're coming along though, and something to be proud of, to be honest.
60 years, bro. I remember the 50s. That's crazy. We super old.
He about to talk about like the 110th.
It was 117th, something like that.
Yeah, almost 117 this year, ain't it?
This year, yeah, December, right?
Cold.
We got your favorite DJ, the Sample Man himself, Mr. Ted Shakir. Toot, what's good?
Hey man, what's popping, y'all? Hey, happy 60th. Savage, I ain't gonna lie, dog. I was gonna judge you because your boy Biden, he gave y'all a shout out with his hands just like this. He didn't know what to do with his hands, but he still gave that shout out. You know what I'm saying? And if you would have came on your own podcast, your own platform, and not, did y'all thing, I would have been judging. The fact that she ain't got nothing on is kind of creepy, but we'll let it slide because your boy Sheeta repping with you. You know what I'm saying? Happy 60th, y'all.
I still got the jersey in the closet, man. Don't trip. I'll bust it.
Do you? We don't know.
You probably still got that big old jacket they gave you after you.
Bro, I ain't worn that junk since undergrad. That junk was huge. They gave me this extra long. I'm like, bro, I'm like $1.75 soaking wet. Y'all give me this big ass cross.
I just had a bad problem with giving like 2X's too big of jackets back in that day. I apologize.
Thank God I ain't had that problem.
Especially like for me. Like me and Shitty, we're not big and tall. We're just tall. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I don't need like shout out to my pro fight, Big Ron. I ain't Big Ron size, man. Like I'm just straight up, straight down, bro. Ain't no going out horizontally, bro.
Not straight up and straight down, bro. No.
Man. Y'all had me messed up, man. But anyway, Toot, we got some trivia from Toot today. Get us warmed up. What you got, Toot?
Yes, sir. Real easy, but I found out some interesting, I'll say the least, information. So if you're unfamiliar with the Grizzlies and the Raptors, they both came in 1995, right?
Yeah. Okay.
But that was the same rule. That was the same year that a rule was implemented. That rule was that if you're an expansion team, you cannot draft first. Mind you, a couple of years ago, Orlando Magic were able to get the top picks with Shaq and Penny. So the NBA was complaining like, damn, we can't allow this because now they're in the finals with 2 first-rounders. I say that to say that the Grizzlies at one time could have had a first-round pick, but we couldn't because by rules we weren't able to draft. So the Raptors ended up drafting. But just to make it short, like I said, the Grizzlies the Raptors could have had the number 1 pick in 1996, but they couldn't use it. What player was drafted number 1 in 1996?
96. I don't want to look.
It's not AI.
Yeah, it's the best draft ever. Yeah, 96.
Damn. Oh, 96.
So imagine Allen Iverson being on the Toronto Raptors in 96. And then the Grizzlies, ironically, could have had the number 1 pick in 1998. Who was the first round pick in 98? This one may get you.
98.
Damn. Yep.
Yep. 98.
Kobe's draft class, right? It's
96.
So, 96. My fault. 98.
Okay. That wasn't Vince Carter.
Damn.
Who's 98?
98 was the same year, but he wasn't the number 1 pick.
He was number 1 pick.
Give y'all a hint. It was a big man.
And 98.
98. big man. Not Olo Candy. That was 99.
Yeah,
Olo Candy.
98.
Wow.
Oliver Candy. Yeah.
That was a
So the
good
Grizzlies
one.
could have drafted him, but instead they had the number 2 pick and they drafted
Sharif.
in 98.
98. Who was 99?
Yeah, who they
Sharif
drafted?
was 96.
They didn't get Brian Reeves.
Point guard.
Damon Stoudemire.
Bibby?
Bibby. Come on, Savage. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh, yeah.
I know a little something.
Ding, ding, ding. So yeah, I just want to share that information, man. That if it wasn't for that, we probably could have had AI if we tanked hard enough. We probably could have had Vince Carter with the number 1 pick. Who knows? But I just wanted to share the information with y'all because the Grizz is on Grizz and it's a curse over our head. But it is what it is.
I'm gonna be happy.
So you're kind of like alluding to what needs to happen this season. Is what you're saying?
What's that?
That's what this trivia is about. You're trying to allude to what's going to happen this season.
No, I mean if we get the number 2 pick, I'm happy.
Bro, I don't even know who the number 2 pick for this year. I don't even know the draft prospects.
It'll probably be somebody from Europe.
I just want Cooper Flag. If we can Cooper Flag, I'm happy. But that's next year.
Hard now. I said we ain't making the playoffs. I ain't saying we was gonna tank hard.
There's the flag.
Tank hard.
Tank hard.
Shout out A-Ball MJG. All right, man. Today's episode, man, top 10 centers. Now, if you were deep into the episode last week, you would know that Sheedy nicknamed this top 10 list the top 10 ass and titties.
And it's Titty Tuesday.
On Titty Tuesday. And that is because I mean, look, after the top 2, I mean, there is a significant drop off. I mean, I'm gonna be real.
Some help, dog.
I personally don't even care what order y'all have top 2 in, even though we pretty much know who's 1 and who's 2. Like, we just gonna keep it above. We know who's 1 and who's 2. But beyond 1 and 2, it's like it can go either way. I mean, you can put somebody at 3, you can put somebody at 4, whatever you want to do. And if anything, I thought this could be a good discussion about who is or who are, the best of the others. Is it some young guys? Is it some guys who have been established for a long time? What's the reason behind that? Is it about fit with the team? So, I mean, we're not going to do anything crazy this week with like taking out time to drag through the bottom 5, the honorable mention. I mean, we'll do honorable mention, at that point. But we're going to go from 1 to 10. We ain't going from 10 to 1 because we already know who 1 and 2 in whatever order y'all want to put it in will be in. So if I'm not mistaken, I think it's your turn, Sheed, to go first.
No, it's Tuka's on first now, even though he was at the class. So it's Tuka, then you, then me.
Then me. Gotcha. Okay, so Tuka, give me your top 10 centers and how you going to do it.
Just top 10. All right.
You do honorable mention at the end. We'll do it at the end. So.
Okay. All right, so number 1, I do have Jokic. I mean, damn near the best player of the game until you stop him. Of course, I had Embiid. To be fair, Embiid did win MVP, but just seeing the turn that Jokic went on in the playoffs, he's literally the best player in the game. Offense win championships. Cool. Second, I got Embiid. Third, I got Cat. 4, I got Bam. 5, I got Porzingis. 6, I got Miles Turner. 7, I got DeAndre Ayton. 8, I got Brook Lopez, old ass. 9, I got Vucci Mane, and 10, I got Alperen Sengun. That's my 10.
Okay, I'm not
crazy.
mad.
The funny thing about this is there's no argument. We just listen to 10 and we can talk later.
Yeah. I mean, we can keep it a book.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a dead position, man. Like if even the way that I manufacture my list is based on how I think where the game is going in the future. Like gone are the days where it's like you get the ball to the big man, he gonna get on the block and he's just gonna score. Like, I mean, you can do that, but I mean, we see my number 1, Jokic is the point guard of the team. He's running the show on offense from the top of the key, from the mid to high post to the block. That's what he does. So Jokic is number 1. Number 2 is Joel Embiid. I mean, they can be interchangeable if Embiid has another MVP caliber year. If they win a championship, it's whatever. It's 2 best big men in the game. I mean, there's no arguments from any of us about that. I'm gonna sound a little crazy, but I'm gonna go based off of history. I got Victor at number 3. I'm putting Victor at 3. I think he's gonna come in. I think he's gonna play very well. And I say that because I look back in history. David Robinson was an All-Star his rookie year. Tim Duncan was an All-Star his rookie year. I have reason to believe that Victor is going to be one good enough as far as the points, and it's going to be popular enough as far as the fan and media interest to be an All-Star caliber player. I think he will be an All-Star this year. So I'm putting Victor at 3. Number 4, Bam Adebayo.
Okay.
Bam Adebayo at 4. I mean, already established great player. He provides playmaking on offense. If he ever makes a jump shot from the 3-point line, he's going to be a great top 3 center. 5 is where I got Cat. I think Cat has a bounce back year from that last year he was injured. I mean, great shooter. I mean, Took says the best shooting big man of all time. I mean, it's arguable. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, it's arguable. He can't he can't pull that joint. 6, I got Larry Big Bird, Kristaps Porzingis with Boston. Change of location is good for him. You got a way better roster, way better players, not way better coaching, but like a better coach compared to like the Washington coach. And I think he has a big year this year, so I got him at number 6. 7, honestly, I went from having him at 7 to off the list, DeAndre Ayton, but I'm going to respect the fact that he is with a good team. His stats didn't go terrible last year, but I still need him to block a shot every now and then for DeAndre Ayton. I got him at 7. At 8, this is where I got Walker Kessler. Two-way player, can rebound, can block shots, elite defensive player in his first year in the league. So I think he'll be better going into next year. Number 9, I'm in lockstep with you too. Alperen Sengun. Do not sleep on him, ladies and gentlemen. The Rockets are not a good team right now, but Sengun is like, as Sheedy would say, private selection joker. The man can pass the ball, he can shoot, he rebounds a lot more this year, this past year, I should say. So I have reason to believe he'll be better. And at 10, I'm gonna put Jalen Duren here, man. I think Duren has an opportunity to be if he can shoot that mid-range jumper. He's a double-double in his sleep. He can give you 15 and 12 easily. If he ever develops a jump shot, I think he can be like a Dwight Howard caliber player, in my opinion. So
I left him out for a reason. I left him and Wiseman out for a reason. Mm-hmm.
Respect that. On you, Sheedy.
All right, if I take a drink and be ready. I couldn't.
Sheedy froze on the
later.
Oh, there we go. You good now? You good?
It's raining in Dallas, so I apologize. So if it cuts me off, just let me know. Number 1, Joker. Number 2, Bam Adebayo. Number 3, Joel Embiid.
Want to talk about that one for sure?
I know you do. I can't wait to discuss. Number 4 is where I got KP. Number 5, Brook Lopez. 6, Karl Anthony Towns. 7, Miles Turner. 8, I got Jared Allen here. It really doesn't matter who you put at center, to be honest. 9, I got Texas Ranger. And 10, I think this player is going to ascend a little bit more this upcoming year. That's Nick Claxton for the Brooklyn Nets.
So where do we go?
I mean, you can explain, Sheedy. I just want to know what you think. I'm not mad, but I just want to know your reason for putting Bam over Embiid.
And just Embiid didn't win MVP. I just want to remind you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did. And the same way that I've discussed my lists in the past, you have to at some point take consideration for what happens when you play the top of the top, and that's the playoffs. Joel Embiid is also the only MVP to never make an Eastern or Western Conference Finals. Bam Adebayo, and just quickly, Joel Embiid, 33, 10, and 4. Phenomenal stats for the regular season. He was 24, 10, and 3 in the playoffs against a Nets team and against a Celtics team. He was also a -6 during his playoff run.
Yeah, it's true.
So with Bam Adebayo, 29 and 3, okay, not the best. Regular season was a +117, but in the playoffs, he was a +42. Bam, we're in a time when scoring is a thing, right? You want to score the most. We're scoring a lot.
Offense wins championships.
Sure, whatever floats your boat. But when you look at the intangibles that Bam does as opposed to Joel Embiid, Joel Embiid's not going to – he might not average 33 points this next season because of the new flopping. I'm going to be honest. He might not. He might not even be 33-point scorer with his new coach. Who knows?
That's
And
right.
so I take a few things into consideration like that. And another thing I took into consideration was those three, to me, Joker, Bam, and Joel. What happens when you rotate them to different teams? I'll be honest. I don't. If Joel Embiid was with the Nuggets, I don't really see them winning the finals. If I put Joker with the 76ers, I guarantee you they in the Eastern Conference Finals. And if I were to move Bam around, right? This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is the MVP of the league, right? Most valuable player. Joel Embiid has played with Jimmy Butler. Bam has not played with James Harden. What happened? Lucky shot? Sure. But you shouldn't even been in that situation. And that team for the 76ers was way more stacked than what we just went through with the Heat. So, to me, I love Joel Embiid's game. I know he's going to be great for Team USA, hopefully, if we get him. I know he's going to give me some great stats. But to me, he's just not an MVP. It's because the award is most valuable player. And if I take Joel Embiid off the 76ers, let's just say I take him off. This team, first of all, still won a playoff game, by the way, without him.
Touche.
And it's still a playoff team without him. You take Bam off of the Heat are not in the playoffs. You take Joker off the Nuggets may not even be in a play-in tournament. And so my decision-making comes based upon regular season, what happened during the offseason, playoffs, things of that nature. And also, like, if I move you around, how would you really fare? And so that's my list. I know Bam was not as high on other people's list, but I mean, I watch a lot of Heat games. And so I'm a little bit more biased than some. But if you just watch even the playoffs, Bam Adebayo does so many things that are not on a stat sheet to help get the Duncan Robinsons open, to get the Max Strus open, to get the other players open. Joel Embiid just recalls for the ball and goes one-on-one or one-on-two. So more of a team player, but I'll leave it at that. I'm okay with any rebuttals. I'm not changing my list.
Go ahead, Sue.
I think my thing in that whole conversation was the fact that, let's say hypothetically his numbers do drop. Okay, how far will they drop? Because they were still heads above Jokic's numbers at least. Like, you 33 points a game versus Jokic's 24 and a half. I mean, that's the close as far as center goes. That's the closest. You know what I'm saying? The third is Kristaps. So you already got, 10 points on the third best, scoring center in the league, first of all. Second of all, you saying a new coach, the new coach going to be wanting to make Joel Embiid happy. That's operation 1, 2, and 3 as far as Philadelphia go. If you're not trying to keep Embiid, you might as well be trying to let him go. So I think the coach would, especially whether James Harden come back or not, I think the system would be, hey, we got the damn MVP, give him the ball, move the hell out the way. Regardless of if you're going 1-on-1 or 1-on-2, that's 33 points a game and 10 rebounds a game at 68 games? I mean, is that 66 games? I'm sorry. Cool. I'll take it. But as far as Bam go, I'm a Bam man. I'm not gonna lie. And it was times I had to hold my breath to see if this dude was gonna have at least 6 rebounds on a regular season game.
Same here. Same.
So, I mean, and I feel you as far as a center. Y'all know that's why I had him be as a center at number 1, is because he does what he's supposed to do when he get the ball, and defensively, he gets a block and a half at least, a game. So you holding the paint down as well. 10 rebounds, 11 rebounds, cool. But Bam is like, you doing so much. I need you to kind of just focus on being a big man and be a big man. I can definitely see him being number 2, but still, like, MVP. Like, can you ever see Bam win MVP?
I see Bam winning first defensive player of the year before I see Joel Embiid winning another MVP trophy.
Interesting.
I think we had him winning DPOY last year, Sheedy. I think we talked about it in our awards episode, and I think I said it's time for him to like step up. And he did step up this year. He stepped up, more scoring, 20 points a game. And like I mentioned before about like to the modern center, like Bam is asked to do different things. It's kind of less about the rebounding and more about what he provides, like playmaking and kind of facilitating the offense. Because I mean, Kyle Lowry is the point guard, and it was Gabe Vincent as well. But I mean, it runs through Bam or whenever Jimmy wants the ball and go ISO. You know, so I can't fault Bam for being in that position, comparing him to like Joel Embiid. But I mean, for me, Embiid is just a better overall player. But you made me think about like, damn, if you did move them around, I'm like, because I'm not huge on Embiid as other people are. So I feel like it's kind of empty calories to some extent. And part of that is his fault because he pushed away Ben Simmons. Talked about the game-winning shot with Toronto. I mean, that was prime Ben Simmons at that time when he was actually trying to do stuff. But now it's like, whatever. So I don't know. I'll be curious to see how Embiid plays this year with Nick Nurse. I don't know if James Harden is going to be disgruntled or not. I don't know. That's I'm thinking now. I'm thinking now. I'm like, hey, I don't know.
and I mean, and think of the trajectory of Nick Nurse, right? With bigs.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how well?
Pascal was hooping with Nick Nurse though, man.
He's a power forward though. So honestly, that looks like Tobias Harris will be hooping.
Hell no.
I'm just saying, for $40 million, he better be doing something. And then you had Jonas Valanciunas with Toronto, then who was doing pretty well, but Nick Nurse is not really. He's not going to really. I don't think he's going to focus most on center. He should. I agree too. He like your number one priority as you got signed is to feed your star player. Mike Malone does a great job with that, and I know you talked about playoff stats, but like Joker took off. He was 20-11-7 during the season, so I can see why people are like, nah, he's not really.
If anything, Joker, he eased up. Like, I got 2 MVPs now. I'm finna just chill and cruise to the playoffs. Yeah. And Embiid was like, I ain't got an MVP. I'm finna go ham and score 30 points a game. So
and look what that turned out. Nikola Jokic scored a positive 169 for the playoffs. He was damn near triple-double, 30, 14, and 10.
It's crazy, bro. That man's crazy.
I mean, he's literally the best center. I don't really. There's nothing really to discuss about. To me personally, I don't think there's anything to discuss in regards to how, to your point, how the position is changing and how well Joker is playing within that position. I'm not faulting Embiid. I'm not faulting his 33. I'm not faulting his 10. I just think at times it's empty for reasons.
So and then you look big James Harden there.
They teammates might as well be. Might as well be. And like when I look back at the stats, like even with the playing against the Nets, right? The Nets had Nick Claxton. You should have been dominating the entire series.
Yeah.
And yes, they won 4 straight, I believe. But it wasn't like, I think one game he had 36. Cool. But the other games, he wasn't like the guy.
One of those games, Claxton got ejected, I remember correctly.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And so I'm not seeing him dominate. And then the Celtics, come on now. Besides Robin Williams or whatever his name is.
Yeah, Horford. Oh, that.
Al Horford, 37 and up. You should have been dominating. There should have been no reason why the 76ers lost that series to the Celtics if Joel Embiid is truly the MVP. That's me.
It is a thing called having a better team.
I hear that, but what was his stats? They went down. I'm gonna let you know right now. and to your point, like the coaching scheme was better. The Celtics had against him. Yes, I agree. But the Nets had something against him too. And so
we played terrible. God, look at the game. What game was it? Game 4? No, game 7. I'm sorry. 5 of 18,
game 7. He said in the locker room.
5 of 18, 15 points. You can't have that from your MVP, dog. I need man. That was rough for him, man. It was rough. It's rough. Yeah. It's still rough for him because, like, you can't. I can't even foresee him. I said I can't foresee him going to the conference finals. You're not gonna be better than Milwaukee. You're not better than Miami, in my opinion. You're not better than Boston. Who else is coming up? I don't know who else coming up in the East. That's pretty much it. But I mean, that's all that matters. You're not gonna be better than those top 3 teams. It's just not gonna happen.
And at some point, no matter where you're seated, you're gonna see one of those 3 teams.
Yeah, at some point.
And he's gonna be by the second round. And what's gonna happen? He's gonna do his usual exit.
Damn.
Right up out.
He had demand trade. I'm sorry.
No matter Philly. If I said it's been ended, Embiid, I'm still rolling with you, man. I still got you. Savage, you have Victor in your top 3.
Yes, sir.
And I like it, but I don't love it because how many games are you really expecting him to play? That's for one. And for two, if he's a power forward, because they're going to play him at power forward, I'm telling you that right now. Where does he rank on your power forward list? I bet that's a good point too.
I mean, he ain't top 3 on the power forward list, obviously.
Oh.
Obviously. He ain't KD, Giannis, or AD. So let's be real. I believe that Pop has like whatever magic touch it is with the big man. Like that's his bread and butter. Like he has never failed big man, and that is literally David Robinson. That's Tim Duncan. That's freaking what's the dude name that Steve Nash always used to say? What's the random dude? I forgot his name. Tiago Splitter. Like
Tiago.
Oh, wow.
Jakob Pearl has had good games with the Spurs.
Yes.
Like
Jakob Pearl is balling right now.
man,
Yeah.
I'm like he knows how to like develop the big man. And honestly, there's a reason why Pop is still in the game right now. He has waited long enough, and this is about to be his shining toy right here in Victor Wembanyama. You telling me I get a 7'4" dude that can dribble and shoot and block shots? Like I see he has to be an all-star this year. In my opinion, he got to be an all-star because I'm like, everybody gonna love Vic, man. Everybody loves Vic. I'm sure if you try to put money on rookie of the year, it's like what minus 20,000 for Victor. It's easy money in terms of like what people are gonna put money down on. I might vote differently or bet differently, but I don't know, man. I just feel like
let me push back just a little bit,
Go ahead.
because you named big men who was known for being in a post, right? When we look at a player like Victor Kamehameha, like he can do it all. But will Pop let him? Will Pop allow him to do it all or play, according to the system that's having him, people like me call him the greatest coach ever? Like, is he gonna let him play, let him free? Or is he gonna be like, hey, it's certain things we're gonna want you to do because we gonna need to make sure you can actually play? Because he's skinny as this. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's gonna be an issue as well, which is why you better not play him at center. Them big man can't wait to have him in a post. So that you say.
We've seen like in the past Pop when he had Robinson and Duncan, you either doing 2 men on the block or you're doing like some high-low action with Duncan at the elbow, Robinson at the block, and then in like not recent years, but like after Robinson retired, you had Duncan, on the block. It just depends on how you want to do it. I think the fact that he's playing power forward is gonna put Victor in a position to where he can create on offense as far as like his dribbling. So I don't want him in the post being guarded by Embiid, being guarded by Bam, being guarded by AD. I want him where he's able to get in space and dance a little bit. And then if he happens to get to the post on a drive or like a drive and fade, then I'm cool with that. That's what I think Pop is doing when they say putting you at power forward. That man 7'4". That nigga is a center. He didn't get his ass in that 5 position. He ain't no damn power forward. They try to do something with Porzingis. He's 7'3". Like, oh, he a power forward. That nigga is a center. That man is a center. But still, I think offensively, that's what they mean. He gonna be in the paint on defense to block shots at the rim. That's what he gonna do. But on offense, I want him to be in space, dribbling, doing his thing, getting saucy a little bit, and scoring. Because I mean, most power forwards are like 6'9". That's what 10, 11, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 7 inches. Pause. That's 7 inches above the next man, bro. Like he gonna be shooting over dudes all game, bro. He gonna be shooting over dudes all game. So that's what I want from Pop. I'm bringing back the mid-range game with Victor because he's not a great 3-point shooter. He can shoot it, but he's like 30% from 3 over in France. So that's what I'm foreseeing happen is I'm gonna let him be him on offense, but on defense, hey man, go guard that paint. That's what I want.
Let me insert as well right here. For some reason, too, Savage believes in rookies every year we've done this, right? So it was Paulo last year, and so we got Victor coming up this year.
I believe in. I am very strong. Like
you're very strong. You lifted weights with him, okay? And so, as much as I believe in that, I believe you have to the point that you're making, you have to utilize Victor's strengths, and I believe his strengths are not back to the basket, all that stuff, especially not in the NBA. It's not going to work. You facing the Julius Randles, Walker Kesslers, and things of that nature, like strong, forceful players. It's not going to work. So him being in space and how they create that for him will be very, very important. And on the flip side, even though he's going to be a shot blocker or at least a shot alterator on defense, I'm hoping he doesn't pull an AD and be injury prone.
That's fair.
And so that was my gripe about. First of all, I'm not gonna put a rookie on the list. That's me personally. But secondly, like I've seen players get thrown around in the post multiple years, and as great as Victor will be offensively, how long will his defensive presence last before he is also maybe possibly a defensive liability? And that is my issue. I don't have a problem with him scoring. He's going to score. He's going to assist. He's going to be there for that. But my only gripe is definitely going to be defense because eventually people are going to figure him out offensively too, but how to beat him on defense. That's my only gripe.
Also, I want to add, Yao Ming was also rookie, all-star as a rookie. And I feel like that's what we're leaning towards with Victor is they going to think he's popular enough and he's going to be good enough, I think, to be an all-star. But yeah, I don't know if you had a response to that too.
I like it. Like I want him to succeed. Of course, like he was the greatest coach of all time. But my thing is, like again, is he's so skinny that they wait for him to put him on a post. You know what I'm saying? They wait for him to try to post somebody up, and he ain't gonna do it. And like that wear and tear is gonna be on him his whole rookie year for sure. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
What are y'all's future projections for Victor? Like, what do you see like all-time great or just like a regular all-star caliber player? Or like, what do y'all think he gonna be? Just like gut feeling.
Yeah, feeling he'll be an all-star. He'll be an all-star for sure. Like Pop been waiting for a player that can do kind of what he can do, especially like somebody you can build around.
Will he be like an all-time great big man?
Depending on how many games he can play. Like again, the big man that we've mentioned, even Yao Ming came in damn near, I think, close to 300 pounds. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. So all these players have meat on them. He's skinny. Like he's so skinny. Like 7'4", cool. Like I'm worried for him to be honest with you. Like I'm like him and James Wiseman kind of got the same body build, only he's skinnier. Like granted, James Wiseman will pick up a lot of weight, but like these players had some meat on them to come in against these big fellas.
Yeah, I was 6'7", 310.
310. Come on, man. I know my basketball. Like 300 pounds is a lot.
7'6".
Come on. And a lot of people probably heard me say 300 pounds. Y'all went on 300 pounds. I'm telling you, he was 3. You just said it.
All the ligaments.
So that's the only thing I'm worried about. And if he can kind of get that going, he could be one of the all-time greats, at least of this generation for sure. But he got a lot. Oh my goodness.
He got a lot to live up to. He'll never right now. If you're asking me if he'll be an all-time great, he will not be an all-time great Spur as a big man because the bar has been set, to your point about Popovich, very high. If you're not talking about Tim Duncan, you're talking about David Robinson. And granted, if Jordan wasn't in the league, Hakeem Olajuwon wasn't in the league, there might be more rings and more consideration about David Robinson, who was the last person to score a quadruple-double.
Yep.
By the way.
And 72 points. That man was hooping.
By the way. And that's hard to live up to. And then after him or above him, you have Tim Duncan, who spent 15 seasons on the all-defensive team, multiple all-star appearances, 5 rings, by the way. I don't know how many MVPs, finals MVPs that he received or earned, but that's going to be hard for Victor to live up to as a Spur big man. Victor will be a great, maybe an all-star. He might make some all NBA teams. It's not going to be anytime in the future. Like first 2, 3, 4 years, I honestly do not see it, even with positionless basketball. Now, some of these guys start retiring and start going down. That might be a consideration for him, depending on his development. But if Victor ain't on that Giannis diet, because remember, Giannis came in the league skinny too. And Giannis put on some weight.
Yeah.
To the point he was a freight train. Now, I'm not saying Victor needs to become a freight train. But Victor better be able to lift more than 135 off the bar. I'll tell you that right now, Kevin Durant. And so I'll leave it there. But just a little more meat on his bones. Need a little sandwich or something. Fry some foods. You know what I mean? Need some more pasta from France.
Some French fries.
Some French fries. Yes, extra cheese maybe.
Good luck with that being in San Antonio.
Hey, they be eating good down there, man. Some Tex-Mex, man. What you mean?
I guess, but that's what Charles Barkley said, huh? Let me go ahead.
Real quick, who was your list? Because someone was like had me thinking for a second.
Me or him? Oh, okay. Him.
Jokic, Embiid, Cat, Bam, Porzingis, Miles Turner, Aiden, Brook Lopez, Vooch, and Sengun.
Okay, I don't know how I feel about Cat. I think Cat gonna be better, but I don't know if he's gonna be number 3. But I ain't mad at it. I understand.
Shit, he's going.
Yeah, so, both of y'all, this DeAndre porn star player.
I told you, man. He could have been.
I don't care, Bear.
It could have been off the list.
I got him on mine because I still think he has a role. But however, I do have Miles Turner over him, which is a point I wanted to ask y'all. Because Miles Turner, he must have knew was doing the list this week, and he gave news report that said, "Hey, I'm gonna be an all-star this year." Let me ask y'all this: Miles Turner, all-star. And by the way, I'd rather have him out here in Phoenix than DeAndre Ayton.
Miles Turner he's one sneaky good. I won't say sneaky because I've watched Pacers games, but like he's like up there top 3 with blocks. Like he will get your shit, bro. He'll block your shot. He can shoot the 3. He's a consistently good player. I think he's just in Indiana, where it's like nobody's watching Indiana. So if he did go to like a Phoenix, then you would see more of him. I don't know if he's gonna be an all-star based on popularity. I would like to see him. He's a good player, but I don't know if he's gonna be an all-star.
What will make Miles Turner an all-star is if Tyrese Halliburton is playing the entire season.
Yeah.
Last season for Miles Turner was his best season statistically. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks. Most rebounds and points he's had thus far. Now, as the season went on, of course, he had to play more, right? And he didn't have Halliburton to give him those easier looks that he was receiving from his point guard. So I'm on it. I think he can be an all-star person in the East. I mean, come on now. Like, we're talking front court. I think there's definitely a case that he can make it. And I think it's really going to be based on Halliburton and how many games Halliburton plays up until that time. Remember, Halliburton got hurt a little bit earlier in the season than that. And that, to me, hindered what the Pacers could do and what the rest of that team could do, because they had to really fill a void. We're talking about missing out on 20 points, 11 assists a game. I mean, somebody got to feel that. And Rick Carlisle's offense needs that point guard. That's how Jason Kidd did well with that offense. Other players have done well within his offense, but he needs that point guard. You take Halliburton off that team,
yeah. Mathurin, he dipped too, and once Halliburton got injured, so that's fair. I ain't mad at that. Real quick, who's y'all honorable mention? I had one. I gotta wait and see about Chet. I think Chet he's gonna be an elite shot blocker, but I want to see him in action first before I make a judgment about him. But Chet, he right outside in my opinion. I think he's gonna be good with OKC.
Yep, same with me. Gotta see it. My honorable mentions again with Jalen Duren and James Wiseman. One of them gonna crack into the top 10.
Gotta be, yeah.
Eventually, but I literally can't pick because honestly, they do different things. To be honest with you,
yep.
And you can play them together. I think Jalen Duren will then be a power forward and Wiseman is center, which is what the Pistons did last year and it worked. Mm-hmm. So. I'm expecting one of them to crack into the top 10 next year, but everything you just said about Chet as well.
Yeah, I agree with everything that has been said about you two guys. I got Chet Holmgren as my rookie of the year, honestly, over Victor. It is what it is, just because I believe more in the Thunder and what they can possibly do, especially with Giddey with those assists. But my honorable mention actually was Jonas Valanciunas. I think mostly I put him on this list anyway, but like what stood out to me about him was when the lights got turned on about the play-in games, he turned up even more. right? So for the season, he was averaging 14 and 10, but in the play-in, he's averaging 16 and 18.
18. That nigga's a horse, man. He get them rebounds, man.
And I mean, he just got done killing USA earlier
man.
too. So I honestly think before it's said and done, I mean, we talked about this before, New Orleans needs to make a decision about who stays and who goes. And that needs to be like very soon. And Jonas Valanciunas is still doing what he needs to do. At 16 and 18, when the lights are on, when you know you have to win a game, that's what you need from your center. Mm-hmm. And then overall, he's averaging 14 and 10 anyway. So that was my honorable mention.
JV, we miss you out there in Memphis. Well, I ain't gonna say I miss you.
We do.
We'll probably make the playoffs if you was to, you know what I mean? Zip.
Hey, JV was the easy button, man.
Yeah,
like,
man.
You need a bucket, just give him the ball. He gonna score, bro.
That's a guy like when you give him the ball, he's going to score on the paint. He's going to go and be too, but he's like a sneaky. He's going to score. Like you don't expect that from him, but you should now.
Man, he had them 30-point games, 28-point games, 15 rebounds. I mean, Jaren wouldn't get the ball. Nobody else would get the ball, but it's like you just dump it down to him, need a bucket, he get a bucket. This is what he did. He just couldn't defend. That was his problem.
That's why I have him now.
He couldn't defend. So, all right. So we talked about MVPs earlier in the episode, and I actually was on I don't know if it was YouTube or TikTok, but I saw a TikTok from Through the Wire podcast. That's like one of the top NBA podcasts out there through Bleacher Report. Shout out to them. And they were debating, not debating, but it was a quick TikTok about like what MVP season was better, this one or that one. And so I was watching it as I'm going through it. It was like, which one was better, Russell Westbrook in 2017 or Allen Iverson in 2001? And I have long been of the opinion that they gave that MVP to Russell Westbrook out of pity because his team was like the 6th seed. They weren't that good. They got killed out of the playoffs that same year. And it was kind of like, again, what are the parameters of the MVP? What deserves an MVP? Is it about, the best player on the best team? Is it the person with the most stats? Is it the story of how things came to fruition during the season? For me, I don't see how you can give an MVP to somebody who had a 6th seed. I do not see that. I don't understand that because what are you valuing? They're not a top seed. Like, I don't get that. So talked about it a little bit on Twitter with our guy. Shout out to Trevor, who also has the Let's Be Real gaming channel going on right now. He believes that Westbrook had the better season. I believe Allen Iverson had the better season. I mean, they were the number 1 seed. Granted, he did have the DPOY, Coach of the Year, 6th Man of the Year, all those things, but Allen Iverson carried that team throughout the regular season. And then we saw it also again in the playoffs as well, too. Again, I know that the MVP is a regular season award, but you kind of add context to the story in the playoffs when the games matter most. So I feel like you can't ignore what happened in the playoffs and talking about MVPs in retrospect. So with that being said, I feel like Allen Iverson had the better MVP season. I don't know how y'all feel, but what do y'all think about that?
So you was a Thunder fan, right? I heard you was a Russell Westbrook fan before you were a KD fan. So I'll let you go first, and I'll clean it up after that.
And here's my note. Enjoy my dinner. Yeah, I hope your dinner sucks. Here's one thing. When you talk about Russell and AI, like these are some of my favorite players of all time. Like with Iverson, that was my literally first favorite player. Like when I see influential NBA, Mount Rushmores and who's the top influential players, and I don't see Allen Iverson on that list. To me, the list is invalid. Like, take this shit off the wood. Like, stop. Allen Iverson is one of the most, after Jordan, to me, over Jordan, influential basketball players to ever play the game of basketball. But when you talk about MVP and on the court, Russell Westbrook had a triple-double. Now, to say he got it out of pity is crazy and is disrespectful. Because if you talk about MVP, the most valuable player, you're talking about who's the most valuable player on its particular team. Whether I understand if they didn't make the playoffs at all. I get it. Then it's just loose change numbers. I get it. But the fact that they made the playoffs on that sorry ass team, no offense, I was watching.
You're sorry.
A triple double, bro. That's something that ain't never been done in what 40, 50 years since Oscar Robertson. That's crazy. We're not talking influence. We're literally talking MVP. Which MVP was better? A triple double, 30-point triple double. At that, like 30 points, 31 points, 31.6. Might as well say 32 points, but we'll say 31 and a half points, almost 11 rebounds, 10 and a half assists, 2 steals, 1.5 steals. Come on, man. And I love me some Allen Iverson, but against the competition that is now, and you getting triple doubles, bro. You 6'4", and you getting more rebounds than anybody else on the court. That's crazy in itself, bro.
My response to that is Allen Iverson led the league in scoring. Like Allen Iverson's like,
I believe Russell did too.
I know, but he's your height, and he don't have that much athleticism, and he played against significantly better big man attacking the basket. Like, what do y'all want this man to do? Like to win this discussion? This man led the league in scoring 4 times, and then beat the Lakers, who were undefeated.
They didn't beat. Yeah, they didn't win, lose. Mm-hmm.
I like they won game 1 in LA, stepped over T. Lue. Shout out to T. Lue, good coach. But I just look.
You talking about stuff that happened in the playoffs, though?
No, but I'm
like
adding.
If you look at that numbers,
context, you have to add context in retrospect to the MVP, just like she did with Embiid earlier. Is it as much valued looking back at it? That's what we're doing. We're looking back at 2017 and 2001. You have to add context to that.
Yeah, but the context you added still was him stepping over Ty Lue. That was in the playoffs.
It's more context. He led the league in scoring during the regular season.
And my thing is, even if you look at Iverson scoring, his MVP season, it was 31. They averaged the same amount of points.
You look too. You mentioned Russell Westbrook with a triple double. Like I respect that. I salute that. You know, whatever. Let's not act like Steven Adams wasn't boxing people out for Russell Westbrook, and not we know Steve can grab him down rebounds. Now you've seen it with Jaren. We know
now you discredit him. He got a triple double, but
context.
Man, ain't no but need to be behind it. He averaged a triple double. How many players? Period. I've been able to do that.
Allen Iverson was 5'11" and led the league.
I get it. That's why I love him so much.
5'11".
I get it.
We discussed Westbrook being amazing with triple double. The man was the average height of a man and led the NBA in scoring that had Kobe, T-Mac, all these Tim Duncan, all these great scorers, and Allen Iverson at 5'11".
So we finna discredit LeBron James. We finna discredit Kevin Durant. We finna discredit Stephen Curry. We finna discredit Klay Thompson.
It was a different era. It's a different era. It's a different era of basketball. It's a different era of basketball.
It's better.
It's better. What do you mean it's better?
With the amount of talent that's in the NBA now compared to back then.
I'm missing the point. What do you mean?
The fact that he lost, man. He got
no. I don't know what you mean for real. I don't know what you mean.
The talent compared in 2017 compared to 2001. Yes, we get that the star players were the star players of the early 2000s, but the talent overall in the NBA in 2017 is way better than back then. Like, come on, man. Overall, and you still average a triple double as a point guard.
What does that mean? They were the 6th seed. What does that mean? Allen Iverson was the 1 seed. The 1 seed led the league in scoring with the best record in the East. Regular season. We're talking about regular season. He 5'11".
You said he played with the Kemba Mutombo, who was the defensive player of the year that year, right? And he played with the Kemba Mutombo that year, right?
He wasn't making no buckets. That's the Kemba.
No, did he win defensive player of the year that year?
What shots he making?
Who won defensive player of the year that year?
What shots he making?
Who won defensive player of the year that year?
I know they had Mutombo, they had Aaron McKee. Does anybody care about Aaron
McKee?
Year,
right? So he had help.
Does anybody care about Aaron McKee?
They have nothing.
Did y'all know that Aaron McKee won the
game?
You said what?
Who are you passing the ball to get 10 assists a game?
The same with Westbrook. Who he passed the ball to apparently since he said his team was trash.
That's what I'm saying.
What? Again. Go ahead, CD. I'm sorry. Me and two going at. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. This is what y'all supposed to do because I have no dog in the fight. So, Savage, I'm going to first disagree about your comments regarding an MVP in a 6th seed.
Okay.
Because we agree that Joker was MVP and he had a 6 seed team.
I refuted that. I refuted that. Remember, I said they messed up with that. I said that they should not have done that. I said that I'm on video saying that.
Okay.
I said they should not have done that. And because of that reason, when I said that he has better stats and a better record, which he did,
He should have got MVP.
Okay. I've refuted that. I said they should not have done that.
Okay, I got you. And just for clarity purposes, Defensive Player of the Year for 2007 or 6, I think it's 2007 we're talking about. No, 2001.
2001.
Dikembe Mutombo was Defensive Player of the Year during that time. He was averaging a whopping 12 points a game. But he was grabbing 13 of them things. And his blocks per game were up there as well, about 3 or 4 per game. So there's context in regards to Allen Iverson and the scoring. Also during that time, and now I'm gonna spin the ball to you two. Now, if I remember correctly, you said that the best all-decade team was in the 2000s, right?
I don't recall.
Me neither. We'll find the video evidence for you. But that was
decade team compared to all-around talent in the whole league. But that's the difference. We can debate that later.
That's fine, and we'll debate it now.
I'm pretty sure I did.
So the talent, but don't let me wrong. I believe that there's more talent in the NBA, and I've said this already because there is also like the G League and stuff like that, where players are coming. Victor, who else just came from the draft as well? Scoop
Thompson
as well. Thompson. Oh my God, amen to that. And so I hear what you're saying, and I mean, my list always predicate also as well with how good you do playoff wise, because that's the cream of the crop as well. And so for Allen Iverson to be a number 1 seed in the East, who I don't really recall the rest of the East, but let's be honest though, we're going to be honest about this. They won Game 7 against the Raptors, who could have been in there instead with Vince Carter.
Yeah.
Could have been, but they didn't. And to ride that momentum to beat a team that had literally won 16 straight, I believe, during that time, or anyways, they swept everybody.
12.
So they,
12 well, have 13, whatever it is. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, they beat everyone. There was no coming back from that. So for them to put on a show, I think it was Staples Center at the time, not Crypto, but at Staples Arena is huge. He led the league in scoring. We've heard about this, but I'm not disputing the triple doubles. I'm not. But if I'm looking at who had the best season per se, I'm going to run. I personally will roll with Allen Iverson. I'm not against Russell Westbrook. I'm not against what he did. I'm not against him being the 6th seed. I'm not against him probably getting his ass kicked in the playoffs. However, to me, a more pivotal season, we don't discuss the triple doubles that he's had. You talked about influence too. You see many of them multiple times the step over that Allen Iverson does during the playoffs of his MVP season. We don't talk about Russell Westbrook and his triple doubles. Should we? Maybe. But the game has also changed from decade to decade. And he actually shot pretty good actually during that season. Honestly, Russell Westbrook, I didn't expect those stats that I saw for him. And also, we got to give more credit to Russell Westbrook and what he's done for his career.
Yeah, I agree with that. And
Russell Westbrook, to me, is very similar to Allen Iverson in this effect. Name me I don't know, 4 or 5 other players from that team besides Dikembe Mutombo and Aaron McKee from that 76ers team. And then on the same token, name me 4 or 5 players from Russell Westbrook's team for 2016. Both players carry their team with a bunch of nobodies. And Russell Westbrook, to me, might be the king of carrying nobodies at all times. But to me, the more impressive season was more or less Allen Iverson in 2001. When you're scoring 30 plus in that time, that's crazy. Nowadays, it's more like, okay, yeah, we had 7 to 8 players that scored 30 plus points.
Bradley Beal do it every year, and nobody cares about it.
Nobody cares. But back then, it was something, right? And so to me, Allen Iverson was more impressive, but that does not discredit everything that Russell Westbrook has done, even with him having a bad season, so to speak, with the Lakers. See how he ended the season with the Clippers. Like he really did fantastic in the playoffs. I just don't think his season that much. Will we ever see another triple double? Maybe not. Probably not. But you won it. You got your MVP. Congratulations and kudos. And Allen Iverson has 4 scoring titles as well. So if we're going to talk about that, that's something as well. Allen Iverson had a better MVP season to me as opposed to Russell Westbrook's triple double.
I'm looking at I'll go ahead.
Yeah, I think the disconnect is who had the better MVPs versus who had the better season.
Okay.
That's where the disconnect is. Because you asking me who had a better season. Oh, yeah, Iverson, he went to the finals. He actually won against Kobe and Shaq. Cool. But again, MVPs are a regular season thing. And I can't sit up here and look at, even though 31, regardless of who height it is, 31 points a game in that era is impressive. Damn, triple doubles? That a lot of players don't get them, and still, who's averaged a triple double since then?
But see, my response to that would be, we can't expect Allen Iverson to get triple double. Like he's 5'11". Like he's not even athletic, nowhere near athletic as Russell Westbrook is. You know what I'm saying? So like to me, like I get it. I mean, yeah, he's 6'3", 6'4", getting triple double. Like yeah, but I'm not expecting Allen Iverson to get 10 rebounds. I'm not. But I also, if I'm going back in time in 1995, I don't expect the 5'11" dude to score 30 points a game and lead the league in scoring 4 times. So it's like both are, in my opinion, equally impressive. I just think that if you compare them on an equal level as far as like their stats, then you get Allen Iverson, whose team was first in the East. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't get no better than first in the regular season, on top of having an impressive statistical run as well too. So comparing that to Westbrook, no, he didn't have the DPOY. No, he didn't have. I mean, he lost Kevin Durant. You lose Kevin Durant, that's gonna suck, obviously. But in terms of like what are we considering valuable? Like, yes, Westbrook was valuable to the OKC, which I think he should have been an MVP candidate for sure. Because I'm like, yeah, like, they don't make the 6th seed without Russell Westbrook at all. They are nowhere near the playoffs, but they are still the 6th seed with Russell Westbrook, and we haven't seen him carry a team in that way since then. Like the next year, they won, I think, one more game, I think, and he was nowhere near the candidacy for MVP, and he still had triple double. So it's like, why was he not an MVP candidate the next year?
Voter fatigue.
You said what?
Voter fatigue. Niggas hating.
True. It's true enough, but I think LeBron should win every year. That's another story. but yeah, that's my point. I'm like, y'all can't say he's MVP for 1 year, and then the next year he's nowhere near. Like, let me look at the next year's voting. Next year's vote. So this was 2016-17. He was number 1. Number 2 was James Harden, who should have won, in my opinion. I think he won eventually. And his was a pity the next year because he was number 1 and won next year. He wasn't whining and complaining about, like, man, I should win MVP. And he finally won it. So that was his makeup call for the MVP. But the next year, here are the top 5. Harden, LeBron James, AD with the Pelicans, surprisingly, Damian Lillard, and then Westbrook, who had no first place votes. So to go from getting 70% of the first place votes the previous year with the same stats and a better seeding to getting none the next year, that to me is pity. Like, we give it to him this year. Kevin Durant left him. You know, we would throw him a bone this time. But the next year, the same stats and a better record and a better seeding. I'm like, come on now. Like, I know it's voter fatigue is a real thing, but to get none first place votes, LeBron.
Allen Iverson had 93 his year. Just to give context about that. Second place was Tim Duncan with 18. Shaq, Chris Webber, who had a fantastic year with the Kings that year, and Kevin Garnett were those 5. And Kevin Garnett only received 1, so that's probably whoever he was coached by. But you know, that also gives context to the voters as well. I feel you about voter fatigue as well. But I won't talk about Steve Nash.
Yeah, what you talking about, CD? We'll go ahead.
Just, man, okay. First of all,
I'll give you one Steve Nash MVP. I will do that.
I'll give you the first one.
I'll give you one.
Okay, and it's not really always necessarily Steve Nash because I think Shaq was like second place in 1 year.
That first year,
yeah, fantastic season. But like we really, and it's not us. We really need to have a discussion about what is most valuable player mean. And I always use this reference for this. And I will use this right now. You just brought up James Harden. James Harden won 2018, I believe, MVP. Should have went to LeBron. My reasons behind this. Yes, James Harden led the league in scoring. Completely agree. Probably led the league in flops. Doesn't matter. But he got his MVP. And the Rockets were still pretty much the same team regardless. I mean, I think they may have added a player. It doesn't matter. Most valuable player to me. That same season in 2018, when LeBron was at Cavs during that season, played more games than James Harden, didn't have as many points because clearly James Harden won the scoring title, but every other statistical category was LeBron James. They didn't want to give it to him. Let's then go to the next year. The only difference between the next year between the Lakers and the Cavs was a LeBron going to the Lakers, maybe some role players. It doesn't really matter. And what happened? The Lakers became more of a playoff team than a team that was looking for a top 10 pick like a Julius Randle again. Whereas the Cavs went from being in the finals and competing in the finals to a lottery pick team. So when you say most valuable player, to me, there needs to be some more discussion in regards to what does value truly mean. The only reason they didn't make the playoffs because LeBron got hurt, but they were on a trajectory to go. And so the Steve Nash deserve too? As no, he don't. But like a Dwayne Wade in the year that he was first team All NBA, first team All Defense, wasn't an MVP candidate. Wasn't even in it. He was a top 5 MVP, but didn't win the MVP. There's voter fatigue about LeBron. There's voter fatigue about Giannis. Or Giannis, not Giannis. Joker. But again, if you take Joker off of the Nuggets and you take Joel Embiid off the 76ers, I mean, look at the teams. Look what you have left. Who was more valuable for their team? And that's really my problem about the award. It's not going to change. People are going to vote for who they want to vote for. That's fine. But to me, first and foremost, LeBron should have more MVPs than what he has right now.
LeBron should have about 8 by now. If he ain't got 8, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's playing for 21 seasons now? Yes.
Yeah, he should have 8. The moment he left Cleveland the first time, they was trash immediately. Immediately, bro. Like Miami is stable. So when he left Miami, it's like, okay, we'll be respectable. But then he left Cleveland again, they was trash.
Who they get? Michael Bennett, whatever his name was.
Anthony Bennett.
Anthony Bennett, Michael Bennett. Don't
Not the
matter.
football player, ladies and gentlemen.
Trash.
He said Michael Bennett,
Trash.
Martellus Bennett.
One of the worst picks. I think the worst draft pick ever, bro. Like,
Where he at now? Where is Anthony Bennett at today? What he doing?
He need to be in Lithuania or something.
Yeah. Let me give him a shout out. Hold on, Anthony Bennett. Where is he at? He is
Playing for Rumpke.
He is playing for nobody. He last played for the Helsinki JKO Lioneers. The last time he was in the NBA was for the Agua Caliente Clippers in the G League in 2018 through 19.
Damn it! Then he
that ain't even sound like a real team.
What, he could just get drafted like a kid?
He's played with more G League teams than NBA teams. He played with the Raptors 905, the Long Island Nets, the Northern Arizona Suns, the Maine Red Claws, and the Agua Caliente Clippers. That's 5 G League teams. He's played for 1, 2, 3, 4 NBA teams. This is number
4. Timberwolves, and who else?
Cavs, Timberwolves, Raptors, and Nets.
He definitely wasn't getting no clock on those last 2 teams. It don't even matter to me.
He won a EuroLeague championship in 2017. So there's that.
Who else is playing?
He averaged. Oh my God!
Yes,
What,
give us the stat.
3 points, 2 rebounds, 5 turnovers.
So in the
Dwight Howard and over
he
there.
averaged 1.2 points a game in the EuroLeague championship. 1.2 points, 0.1 blocks, 0.3 steals, 0.2 assists, 0.9 rebounds. Shot 18% from 3, 26% from the field. Plays 6 minutes a game.
That might be the biggest bust in NBA history.
Nah, ain't no might be.
Which I might be.
Nah, he is.
Oh
Nah,
man,
he is.
they can solve this issue for real though. Just give us an offensive player of the year. Just do who's the best offensive player of the year. I personally am cool with MVP tying in some story into like the previous season going into this season. I think that'd be fair. I think that's fair. Now I do think that Westbrook should have won an MVP. Like I ain't gonna disrespect him like that.
Yeah.
But they gotta. We don't know what MVP means. Is it like best offensive player? Because I mean, to some people, Jaren could be the MVP of the Grizzlies. Because I'm like, this man when he on the court, the plus minus is ridiculous. Like he's a great contributor to the team, you know. And when he off, they trash. It's as simple as that. Simple math. So I don't know. I don't know. All right. Any closing thoughts, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah, bro. You talking about a story? How about the story of winning time ending on the Celtics winning?
Oh yeah. Oh man.
Bring it up.
Oh, you know how you talk about petty and out of pity. Damn, bro.
Man.
Writer's block.
Right. Hey,
But not
I don't
paying
know what to say about it because I'm like, it's still going on. Like, damn, it's been like 6 months. I feel like they've been on strike.
No, apparently it's the views.
People watching it though. I'm watching it.
I've seen a couple of reports saying that the views were cut in half. I've seen multiple stories saying that the players want this shit done because the story is being inauthentic. They overreaching about some of the things. I mean, but that's that period. But I guess at the end of the day,
playing Magic Johnson is killing it. I'm sorry, that man.
Of course, of course, but
But I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. But isn't every story going to be overreaching unless it was actually recorded?
Exactly.
Like The Last Dance was recorded,
exactly,
and we saw everything. We're like, I mean, I'm gonna go to Hulu about Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson, we don't know exactly what was going on, but he had a gap in the tooth and everything like that. He was working it, but I don't know if that's all true,
right?
Because it wasn't actually filmed.
Yeah.
Whereas The Last Dance was filmed. I could see that.
I mean, to me, it was good though. Like it was. I mean, I don't care if it's fictionalized or not. I mean, to me, it was a good story, and some parts of it obviously are going to be true. I mean, like how the team came to be, how Pat Riley got there, the Bus families, like going from real estate to the Lakers, organization. So I mean, some of it is true to some extent, and I mean, it's a good show. So I don't understand how somebody got to pick it up. Netflix, somebody got to do something with it. They got to do something
because it's way more that you can do with it. Like the fact again, like you see how much they hate each other as far as the Lakers and Celtics, and you about to end on the Celtics winning. That's for one. But two, if you were to include the bad boy Pistons, which are coming, you don't think that's gonna draw some ratings? You don't think immediately after that Michael Jordan coming into the league immediately after that, like it's winning time. It don't necessarily have to be a Lakers thing. It could be a whole NBA. Like some of these kids really don't know what went down in the 80s and the 90s and how certain shit went down. I think it's great to see.
Yeah. And that's a great point, man. Damn, we could have had because the show started off with Magic in the HIV, test office situation. So you have to work your way to get there because so much has happened between 79 up until what was that 91? Whenever he had the situation.
You could have stopped at the Dream Team.
Right, literally, yeah.
Oh, come on, man. Come on, man.
Man, but I mean, hopefully somebody pick it up, man. Because I feel like I said, the dude who's playing Magic Johnson, I don't know his name, but he ain't even 6'9", bro. Like 6'1", but they make it seem like he's so big on camera, bro.
Illusions,
right? So, and the dude playing Pat Riley is killing it. The Kareem dude, his Kumbaya tail, that man.
Quincy Isaiah, let's make sure we give some respect to
Isaiah. Yeah,
Quincy
man.
Isaiah.
Like, salute to them folks, man. Like, I don't know what they gotta do to make it happen because I was watching it. I was catching back up. I didn't watch it all at the same time, but I was watching it intently at some point. I was gonna watch it. So I don't know, man. We'll figure it out.
Who knows?
Pay the writers, man. That's what I say. Let's pay the writers, man.
That's it.
And pay us too. Who want to pay us?
I'm here.
I'm here, man. Y'all need somebody to talk. Let's pay us at LBR. Let's bring the whole conglomerate in, man.
My Zelle is always open. Always open for Zelle.
Let's do it, man. All right, y'all. We done with the top 10 list. This is our last top 10, at least with positions. ever, because next year we're gonna do 1 through 50, man. We're gonna just do the whole damn league and continue to put Giannis above KD. I'm just playing too. Don't quit the show.
Donnie's the only one laughing.
Bruh said last week that was his last show before he even started
Here
with
he
his
is.
list. They said
Here
that's
he
it.
I ain't got shit else to do. Yeah. Can't be too the Hardaway. You know how many jokes, inappropriate jokes are coming with that? Oh man.
Oh man, like I said,
I love
man, the NBA season is about a month away. We're gonna get back into this thing. Two gonna provide some more bets because you've been hitting these bets I see on the NFL.
I can't wait for NBA season, dog. I can't. I'm practicing on NFL. I lost a couple, but NBA is just practice.
Yeah, man.
Rock with us. I promise. We're gonna make some money this season. I promise you that.
We're gonna make some money this season.
I promise you.
We off next week, but we'll be back after that. So y'all stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.